we can see that this is not really a sub-bass sound. This is more of a mid layer. So what I like to do is I usually use the Citrus to make my sub basses because it is really easy in Citrus. Let's open up the default preset, drag this down. Now we have pure sine wave. I like to drag this tension knob up to add some harmonics to here. Now we just simply copy our bass layer MIDI to our Citrus sub bass. We can rename this to be sub bass. Just like that. And now we of course need to separate these two different things. So let's make a mixer channel for the sub bass in here. Go into our GMS or whatever plugin you are using to make your character layer. Just simply high pass it. And of course now our kick in here is really thumpy and dominant. So we need to sidechain our bass layer. So with FL Studio there is multiple techniques to do this, but I like to have control. So what I like to do is I open up a new envelope controller in here. If I am not using the DAC plugin, use the tempo thing, use the grid, make a shape, something like this. So this represents the sidechaining shape. So we don't want any bass to be playing where our huge kick is. Something like this. Now we can just simply draw notes like this. So these notes need to match our kick sound for this to work. Let's make it 4 bars long. Now with this we can control anything we want really. So for example I can go to my sub bass channel. Don't use these mixer dials to sidechain because it is really annoying because you cannot adjust this after that. So go here, open up the Fruity Balance, right click, link to controller, Fruity Envelope Controller, Articulator 1. But now as you can see we are going over 0 dB, so we can limit the signal amount with this envelope level dial. As you can see now we are at 0 dB when I adjust this to 60%. Now we have our sidechain set up, but as you can see the problem is this is not going all the way down with the volume dial, although we are drawing the shape to be like this. So this has to do with this envelope level dial. It is limiting the signal both ways. So what we can do is we can set this up to 100%, go to our mixer, open up XY controller. It doesn't matter where you open this up, it just needs to be in the same project file you are using it. Go to this speed dial, because if you don't turn this all the way up, your input will not match the output. So let's turn this all the way up. What we are going to do is we are going to link this level dial to this parameter signal. Link to controller, envelope controller, articulator 1. This is the input for the XY controller. Now, as you can see, we are moving the input of the XY controller with this parameter signal. We need to link our Fruity Balance plugin to the XY controller's output. So you can think this like this. We are using Midi to activate this parameter. Now we are sending this parameter to the XY controller and we are sending the parameter from the XY controller to the Fruity Balance plugin. We are going to right click the volume level, open this menu up, and we can see the Fruity XY controller. It is in insert 16. There is X and Y output. We are using the X as you can see here. So let's select the X output. When I press a note, you can see this thing moving over here. Now we can decide where we want this signal to be when this parameter line is in 100% level. So I'm going to reset this because I want it to be in 0 dB. Right click, copy value, go into the XY controller. Here we can set the range of this parameter signal. Let's select the maximum range to be 80%, which just means that it is not going over 0 dB in any point, and we are sidechaining. And as you can see, sidechaining volume is going all the way down and just climbing to the 0 dB line where we want it to be. This is really useful when you are sidechaining bass sounds, like in the last example. You might want to use the Sidechain of Death, aka the sidechain where the sound is ducked all the way down to 0 dB.
We will be right back after these messages.
I need to refuel my thirst of information.
Let's go to the HCONTUNES Patreon then.
Do you think we will actually make it all the way there?
With only $16 a month, anybody can make it.
That's delicious.
www.patreon.com/HCONTUNES.
But if you want to sidechain the top frequency, you can use the same envelope controller and just simply, you have basically two options. You can make another shape to be something like this, where it is not as tragical, if you can say so, something like that. And now simply go to the bass layer channel, load up Fruity Balance, right click, link to controller. Now you want to use the envelope controller articulator 2. And again, we need to adjust this to 60%, so we are not crossing the 0 dB line. Let's say I want to load up a new instrument. Let's say we want this sound. Now, if I want to sidechain, all I really need to do is go to my mixer channel where I want to do the sidechain. Right click here, type in balance, click enter, right click this, link to controller, select the envelope controller that you want. I'm gonna use the articulator 1. And now we're sidechaining. So I'm gonna let this FLP to be downloadable for you Patreon guys, of course, so you can check this out yourself and figure out some stuff. If you feel this is confusing, feel free to ask questions from me. I will answer all of them. Thanks for watching and have a great day.